said that right? Gliatto? All right, awesome. So Paul, I know you and I met at the Little E's open mic that I host, right?
Yeah.
That's the first time I think we met?
Yeah.
All right, cool. And, I remember you playing a acoustic guitar, so kind of like solo acoustic stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cover songs. But then I think before we started recording, you said that you had written some songs in the past. Is that right?
Yeah. And I didn't actually sit down and write them. It's
Mhm.
just you practice and you instrumental pieces and
Okay.
certain chords go together and they
Yep.
sound nice and you put a couple more together and then if you remember them,
Yep.
then you got it.
There you go. Yep. And that's all. I mean, in my opinion, that's all that songwriting is anyway, right? You
Yeah.
fiddle around until you find something that feels nice.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
not like I never set out like, I want to make a song, but
Mhm.
like I said, you play enough stuff and you think you stole it from somewhere, and probably parts of it you did, but
Right.
you end up saying, oh, okay, no, this might be original, so
Yep.
and then keep it.
Yep. That's great. Let's see. So when did you first start playing guitar?
I first picked it up when I was 18.
Okay.
I guess that's when a lot of people do,
Yeah.
everybody had a guitar in high school. And
Mhm.
then, but I really didn't, I just messed around with it. I didn't really start playing, like practicing till, I guess I was close to 30.
Okay.
And, right around the time I met my wife.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I guess I started getting serious about stuff a little bit,
Okay. Very cool.
but, that's when I really started getting into music.
Yep. And then where did it go from there? I mean, if you're now like officially kind of into it, what did you do? Did you just play more? Did you join bands or anything?
No, I didn't even think about playing in bands.
Okay.
I just went back, and then these songs that you grew up with thinking, "Oh, they're so difficult. I'll never play them. I'm not even gonna mess with it." I thought, "Well, maybe."
Right.
And I started getting this is before YouTube, of course.
Sure.
Different videos, instructional videos, and tablature. I can't read music, but I
Same.
tab. So I went and started studying pieces of music that I liked,
Mhm.
bands that I liked,
Yep.
and then I got better and better. And then I started hitting open mics.
Mhm.
I guess about 5, 6 years after that, when I was
Okay.
like, oh, you know what? Let's check this. And jam sessions,
Yeah.
they're great.
Yeah.
Acoustic jam sessions are great.
They're fun, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I still go to those.
Nice. So are you primarily an acoustic player or do you
Yeah.
play electric too?
Yeah, I got a Strat,
Mhm.
and I did. Well, I got two Strats. I got one that's a crappy Mexican one, and I've got one it's pretty decent. I just bought off my cousin
Nice.
a couple years ago, but I only bring it out once in a while, and I usually keep that in open G
Oh, wow.
so that I
Okay.
can play like Muddy Waters kind of stuff.
Okay. Yep.
So because I really like, that's one of the things I'm really into, early blues.
Mhm.
But mostly, if I'm going to sit and jam anyway, I just have one guitar that I
Okay.
use,
Very
acoustic.
cool. Very cool. So do you, I think, I want to say Keith Richards plays an open G a
Yeah,
lot too.
yeah.
So are you playing a lot of Stone stuff too, or no?
Now I am. It's kind of funny. The same things he's into. I didn't know, growing up, you listen to the Stones, it's all the stuff they had on the radio.
Mhm.
And, then you discover their more acoustic stuff and the roots. And then I heard, okay, Keith's doing the same songs
Yep.
that I'm like, of course he's doing like Keith. He drops the top string though.
Oh, he
He
does.
only plays it with what I understand, he just plays 5 strings. So if you play with open G, if you get rid of that, the E, which you turned down to a D,
Uh-huh.
if you get rid of that, your root is always the G.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's a little easier to play.
Interesting. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. So who are some of your other influences? You said old blues.
Yeah, I'm really anything ancient and
Mhm.
obscure I really like. I really like, I'm a huge Hot Tuna fan.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and I've been listening to them forever. Those were like when I listened to them when I was a kid. I thought how good you can never play like. But then I've studied it, and of course I can't play like Yorma, but I can approximate
Right.
a lot of things he's doing. So I was into that, and like I said, Muddy Waters and
Yep.
uh,
How about like Albert King or anybody
Albert
like that?
King
Yeah.
and John Lee Hooker and Elmore James. I'm really into Elmore
Okay.
James. He does a lot of stuff in open D. I like his stuff.
Nice.
And then Lightning Hopkins. Lightning
Oh,
Hopkins
okay.
was like the first person I really sat and tried to play like.
Very cool.
And I got turned on to him because of Pigpen on one of the Dead albums.
Mm-hmm.
He does a Lightning Hopkins version of, I can't remember the name of the song, but he does it just like
Okay.
he does.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah.
Yeah. And then George Thorogood, his
Mhm.
first album when he was with the Destroyers, it might even
Yep.
been the Delaware Destroyers back then.
Okay.
He was really into the roots.
Okay. Nice.
So
How did you first get into that music?
people turned me on to it.
Okay.
Yeah, it just
Like as a kid, you were like 10, 12 years
no,
old?
no, no, no. It was like I guess in high school,
Mhm.
you would run into somebody say you got to listen to this or that,
Right, right.
especially like Hot Tuna. Anybody like everybody's listening to the Dead, of course,
Sure.
forever.
Yep.
But if you like the Dead, you're also going to get turned on to Pure Prairie League and New Riders of the Purple Sage,
Okay.
and then at the same time you're going to be listening to the Allman Brothers, and then you got Skinner
Yep.
and the Outlaws and all that stuff. And then from there, because Jerry
Mhm.
is into everything,
Right.
you get turned to like the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
Mhm.
They were a good band. You could hear their stuff. You could learn a bunch of guitarists from them.
Okay.
Like that's how I got turned on to Doc Watson and bluegrass. I
Wow.
really like bluegrass.
Yep. Yep.
But I can't flat pick that great, so I don't.
I'm not great at it either.
Yeah, that's not easy.
Leanne just did a bluegrass, I guess you call it like a workshop. You know,
Okay.
she took her mandolin. It was like last weekend or the weekend
cool.
before.
Cool.
Yeah, and they had a bluegrass festivals down in Woodstown.
Yeah.
But then you could sign up for like these classes during the day.
Okay.
And she went, took her mandolin, and she learned a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, she's super psyched about it.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it's great if you practice those pieces.
Mhm.
And if you don't want you to listen to that, then you get turned on to Irish music because a lot of this stuff are Irish
Right.
and Scottish fiddle tunes.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yep.
everything just leads in everything else.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
funny
once you
how it all
start.
connects, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. When did you get your first guitar? You said back when you were like 18, probably?
Yeah, it was
Yep.
18, and I don't even know what it was. I've got it in the basement somewhere.
Yep.
I don't even think it's playable. I don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
But I got this Alvarez. Gosh, I'm trying to think how many years ago. Maybe 30, 35 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
And it's not a good guitar. It's a workhorse.
Yeah, but they age well. Acoustic
Yeah.
guitars age
Yeah.
really well. Yeah.
I broke the neck on it twice, and but it keeps coming back, and it's just like I said, it's a workhorse,
Workhorse. Yep.
and I can take it anywhere and beat the heck out of it, and it kind of stays in tune.
Nice. Nice.
You know.
How did you break the necks? How'd you break two necks?
It was not a good guitar when I got it, and I don't even remember how.
Okay.
I dropped it or something, and the last time I had somebody knew what they were doing, and they fixed it right.
Oh, okay, good.
So
good.
you can actually see the work on it.
Good. Who did you take it to? Someplace local, or?
I can't.
Yeah, it was a while
It
ago.
was a guy
Yep.
I knew through a guy who I haven't seen in years. So
Gotcha,
it's one of those
gotcha.
deals.
Have you always been in New Jersey? Grown up in New Jersey?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I grew up, I guess, south of here, like Woodbury area.
Oh, okay.
So,
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. What were some of the spots that you would go to? Would you ever go out and see like live music
Yeah,
and stuff?
yeah.
Where did you go? Do you remember?
I'm trying to think.
Were there any local spots?
Yeah. A lot of times we go across the bridge into Philly. We'd go to the Chestnut Cabaret.
Nice.
They had good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, of course, the Spectrum.
Yeah,
back in the
Spectrum was
day.
great, dude.
Yeah.
Yep, I loved it. Loved it.
Yeah, there were so many
Yep.
good bands.
I used to love the Trocadero too.
Never
Over in
went there.
No?
No,
Over in
no.
Chinatown, man, the Trocadero was great.
Yeah.
Oh, I had so much fun there. Yeah.
What kind of stuff are you into? Because I was not to
Joe,
good.
ask away.
When I was watching, and Leon too, a lot of the songs you guys play,
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yep.
So you can't be more than like 10 years younger than me.
I'm 52.
Okay,
Yep,
I'm 63.
Okay, yeah.
So
yep.
we're in
the same box.
Yeah. You guys have a little bit more stuff that's, I think, more accessible because you're Gen X. I think that's
Yeah. Yep.
but the classics, the Stones, the Who,
Yep.
Beatles, everything.
Yep.
So you guys can do all that stuff.
Yeah, my dad was a big Led Zeppelin fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when I was 14, first picked up the guitar,
Yeah.
I would do nothing but learn Led Zeppelin riffs, AC/DC riffs.
Okay.
because AC/DC was my favorite band, and then, of course, Led Zeppelin was my dad's favorite, so, like,
Okay.
at the age of, like, 14 or 15, I learned how to play Stairway to Heaven and stuff, and it was
Yeah.
like it
Okay.
felt like it was the greatest accomplishment ever, you know?
Yeah.
And my dad was, like, floored, you know? He'd be at work all day, and then he'd come home, and I'd be like, "Check out what I learned," you know? It's just not full songs, just, like, riffs of, like,
Yeah.
Heartbreaker and Livin' Lovin', you know, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. I messed around with trying to get the riffs on Heartbreaker, and I
Mhm.
couldn't get it right. And
Yeah.
like I said, I'm acoustic,
Mhm.
and I never, to this day, I cannot do the lead to Stairway to Heaven right.
No,
I can
no,
fake
no.
it because I know it's an A minor,
Right,
and
right, right.
if we're all
Yep.
drunk and somebody says, "Let's do it,"
Yeah, you
who
can
else
fumble
knows?
through it. Yeah.
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 But, and I even like a couple months ago, I went back and revisited it.
I did too, actually. I
Yeah.
tried to that lead guitar part, you know, just the first, like, I don't know, 5, 6 notes, the
Yeah, yeah.
it's so difficult to get that smooth,
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
because it's
yeah.
like a weird alternate picking, and I think he might even skip a string or something weird like that, and it's like, "Damn it." You know?
And then that the repeated riff over again. Da 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 da
Oh,
da.
yeah, 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 yeah,
And I say, how many am I? Well, another one. When does this end? And
yeah.
then it's kind of cool because he overdubs himself. He puts the slide on there. So I
Mhm.
learned
Yep.
that part
Oh,
too.
awesome,
And then
awesome.
I learned the whole thing like you did. I think I
Yep.
was 18 when I learned that.
Okay.
And
Very
then
cool.
right after I forgot it because
Yeah, yeah,
nobody's gonna
it's not like
play.
you had a gig to go play, right?
Yeah, and then I don't know. A couple times we're out and they
Mm.
say, "Can you do Stairway to Heaven?" And we
Mm.
start it, and we butcher it because we know pieces when we were kids,
Right, right. Yeah,
But
that's
wow,
great.
that's a great thing to learn. And then
Mhm.
"Live and Love and Made"
Yeah.
that one riff in the middle that is so
Yeah, man.
great,
Yeah,
man.
awesome. It's awesome. I love it. I loved every you know, and I could never get Black Dog though. Black Dog had me stumped
Yeah,
for 30 years probably. And then finally, you know, cuz I went through a little bit of a hiatus as with my playing, right? Like I started when I was like 14, started seriously when I was like 14, all the way through like senior year in high school, maybe even a couple years after that. And then, you know, life kind of gets in the way, you know, you get married, you know, all that stuff,
yeah.
and I literally put it down for like 20
Oh
years, you
wow,
know?
wow.
And then and then relatively recently coming out of well, during COVID, I started just, you know, playing some riffs and posting it on Instagram and stuff just to kind of keep myself accountable. Like,
Hmm.
oh, you know, let me post this riff, and then next week I'd post another riff, and oh, what else can I learn? You know, stuff like that. And then I started playing the acoustic more, and then went to my first open mic back in 2021, January of
Oh
2021.
wow, yeah,
And I had never sang before. I never considered myself a singer. I was always a guitar player. And then I was like, well, I'm not going to go to an open mic and just play guitar. Like nobody wants to see that. So I
yeah.
was like, let me try to learn a few easy songs that are easy to sing and play at the same time, because I always struggled with that, singing and playing at the same
Oh yeah,
time,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
And then I went there, and you know, it wasn't great, but there were quite a few people who were just very nice and generous with their comments, and they were just like, "Man, like you got a really kind of cool voice, you know, you like there's something there. If you work on it, it'll be great, you know." And I was like, "Really? I've been singing for like a week, been playing guitar for 40 years." And you were talking about my voice. So I know you do sing, right? So
Because the same thing.
mhm,
You try to get a gig, what
right.
do?
Yep.
I do obscure tunes, by this blues guy from 1947. Oh, you're our guy. So I had to actually learn it. So
Yep.
fortunately, there's people like Bob Dylan
Mhm.
and Tom Petty and guys like that. I can't sing like them, but
Yep.
your voice doesn't have to be perfect,
Right, right.
So
Exactly.
so
Yep.
I learned that stuff, and then I got together with what I mostly did was I would get together with guys that would sing,
Mhm.
and I would just noodle behind them, and I
There you
would take the
go.
leads, and then I started learning how to do harmony
Mhm.
because the people I was jamming with, we started getting gigs,
Okay,
and then
nice.
like who's gonna sing the harmony part on this?
Okay, yep.
So I went and I learned how to sing parts of singing along with
Mhm.
Now that YouTube, you can do it. They'll
Yeah.
separate the voices.
I've never tried that.
Oh,
I should really learn it. I don't know how to do it, you
it's so
know?
great. So
Yeah.
you go in there. So I can't do like Don Henley's harmonies, but
Mhm.
I can grab, you know, I don't even know who it is behind Fry. And
Yeah.
the same thing with the Beatles. You can find out, okay, here's where George's voice comes in,
Okay.
and here's Paul's, that's too high. Okay, well, here's
Yep.
where John is.
Oh,
And
okay.
then same thing with any bands that have a harmony
Yeah,
behind them.
yeah.
And then if you listen to bluegrass is all harmony.
Sure, sure.
So
Yep.
you're driving in the car. Okay, now I can hear. I'm
Mhm.
singing. Here's the lead. Okay, here's one of the harmonies.
Mhm.
And if you jump up real high for like one of the falsetto hillbilly harmonies. But anyway, that's what I was doing
Yeah, yeah,
because I would go to open mics and everybody's singing, and I would just start. Well, you saw the first time I was there. I
yeah.
would just noodle this stuff,
Yeah.
and it's hard to play. You know, it took some time,
Sure.
and I'm like playing my heart out. I was like,
Mhm.
like, I better learn something that people could sing along
Yeah,
with. You
right,
know,
right.
so
What were some of the songs that you first learned to, like, sing and play?
oh, it's all dead.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
dead
Alright.
because
Yep.
Jerry's voice, you know, even though it's kind of like a high register to sing like, and you can't sing like him,
Right, sure.
but people, deadheads are really forgiving. You know, if they know the words and you're doing
Right.
Uncle John's band, they're
Mhm.
singing along with you.
Yeah,
They
there
don't
you go.
care, you
Yep,
know.
yep.
So, and I learned a lot of their songs anyway because, well, that's when you first start. If you're an acoustic guy, you start out with like Zeppelin, right?
Mhm. Yep.
I started out acoustic, so I of course I learned like the basic Clapton riffs,
Sure.
but then you have to know all the Dylan tunes. You go to Dylan and then Neil Young,
Yep.
and then like I said, the Dead, CSN.
Mhm.
You learn all those songs,
Yep, yep.
and then you know you sing along with them. And if you're somewhere, everybody's singing,
Yeah, yeah,
so it
yeah,
doesn't
yep.
matter what you sound like.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true. There's a lot of the songs that I first learned to sing and play at the same time were songs that I knew I could they weren't a struggle for me to sing, like they were in my range already.
Yeah.
Like Let Her Cry from Hootie and the Blowfish, right?
Okay.
At the time when that album came out, that was a super popular song, you know. And I was like, well, everybody knows it. Everybody knows the words. They can sing along if they want, you know. And it was within my reach, you
Okay.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
singing,
Yeah.
and it was just a 4-chord song, easy enough to strum and, you know, and all that. And then I just kind of built on from there, you
Oh,
know.
okay.
And there were some songs that were tricky, like Glycerine from Bush, to try to do just the same chord thing, and then he doesn't sing like with the music at all, you know what I
Okay.
mean? So it takes a lot of work.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's where slightly generational difference because I don't know who that is.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know
All right.
anything after 1975, pretty much. I
Okay.
just,
Gotcha.
yeah, I'm such a dinosaur. You know, it's like, gee, how come I can't get any jobs? But yeah, I understand. Yeah, you sing the
Mhm.
ones you can, and then,
Yep.
like, but I'd rather. I don't like singing it by myself. I
Okay.
really don't enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But if I'm
Yep.
singing with somebody else and they're the lead, and I like putting a
Nice.
harmony.
Okay,
That's
cool.
kind of fun.
Well, anytime you're there, you want me to sing something, I'll sing and then you can
Oh,
harmonize, whatever you want to do.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
absolutely.
Yep.
No, and I'll tell you what, just a quick plug.
Sure.
Your open mic is like one of the top open
Oh,
mics.
thank you so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Where'd she go? She left
She
me
went
already.
downstairs.
I put her to sleep already. Oh, where are we going now? More guitar. But she loves going there too because
Oh,
everybody's
good.
so nice.
Oh, that's great.
And Leanne was
Good.
really nice the first
Yeah.
time we went
Yep.
there. Very approachable.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Yep.
she's a hell of a multi-instrumentalist
She is.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yep.
and the beers are good there too. So,
Yep.
y-
Not too expensive.
no, it was. I think they had the Cape Mays for like $6 or something. I mean,
Yeah.
I could knock back a couple of those.
Sure, absolutely. Yep. They have food now. They have their own kitchen now.
Yeah, I saw they had like wings and stuff, right?
Wings and burgers and chicken fingers and stuff like that. Yeah. Basic stuff, but at least you don't have to order from someplace else or get it from Captain Cat's across the parking lot, you know.
That's funny. Captain Cats. I grew up with Captain Cats.
Did
I
you
went
really?
to West Effort, and
Yeah.
Captain Cats was right across the street,
Yeah,
literally
yeah, yeah.
across the street from us,
Yeah.
and you could smell that old bass smell. That's what
You can smell it during the open mic
oh
stuff.
man, I love Old Bay so much, but that's what got me turned on to Old Bay.
Nice.
So
That's awesome. So you said you would attend like jam sessions, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
so tell me about that. Like what's a jam session compared to like an open mic?
All right, it's just so you go to open mic, and when
Mhm.
you get done, a lot of times somebody walks up to you and say, "Hey, I know that song. Can you do this one?"
Oh, okay.
You
Yep.
know, and then because I'm really into, like I said, old stuff
Mhm.
and bluegrass and folk
Yep.
and early country,
Yep.
all in South Jersey.
Mhm.
You swing a dead cat, you're going to hit somebody who plays that stuff. If you wanted to swing a dead cat,
Right, sure.
I
It's
don't-
true though. This area,
yeah.
man, a lot of that stuff is in this
Yeah.
area for
So
sure.
there's like Millville's a great hub for that.
Yeah.
There was a place called Bogart's. There was
Okay.
coffee house there,
Mhm.
and they would have open mics or open jams.
Mhm.
And then just I would run into people, and I'm like like I said, like Towns Van Zandt. I'm a huge Towns Van
Okay.
Zandt.
Yep.
But you're not going to get that if you go to a like electric jam session.
Right, right.
But
Yep.
like all the guys my age, we all
Mhm.
know them.
Okay.
So that's
Very
kind
cool.
of cool. And
Yeah.
then somebody knows that, and then you have to, in between while you're waiting for your time to do a song,
Mhm.
if you don't step on anybody, you can noodle behind them
Oh, right.
and
Okay.
add to
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Now, if
Yep.
you're pissing them off because you're hitting the wrong key
Sure.
or whatever,
Sure.
but if you're playing in tune or you
Mhm.
come in, then they'll invite you more.
Yeah,
Say,
yeah,
hey,
yeah,
you got
yeah.
to come out
Yep.
to this thing,
Yep.
and
Yep.
then it gets, and then like just a friend of mine that used to have a jam at the Irish pub in Atlantic City.
Oh, yeah.
This
Yep.
guy, Norm Draper.
Okay.
I used to jam with him all the time back in
Mhm.
the days, and you don't make any money, but
Yeah.
and you pay for but they'll bring some food and they give you
Nice.
discounts on the beers.
That's cool.
But I still go to those things.
Nice.
I
Nice.
I really love it running into people
That's
that want to
cool.
just
That's cool. Yeah, the end of our open mic always turns into like a jam.
yeah
Like
yeah
we get through the list for anybody listening who doesn't know. We get through the list. I am a solo acoustic guy, so I always like to give time to the solo acoustic musicians or duos, whatever. So everybody gets 3 songs, and then after we get through the list, then we just kind of open it up to whatever anybody wants to do.
yeah
So it's fun.
yeah, and you got the cross pollination there too because guys that I've jammed with there
Hmm.
run open mics,
Yep.
like Death of the
Yep.
Fox down the
Yep.
street, another
Hmm.
nice
That's
open
a great
mic.
one. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I mean, open mics are addictive.
They're fun.
They're so great. You know?
They are. You meet a lot of great people and
Absolutely.
you learn a lot too. Like
Yeah,
the more you play with other people, the more you learn. Like you learn stuff a lot faster playing with other people
absolutely.
as opposed to just like playing in your basement. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So definitely. Let's see. So you've never been in any kind of band or anything like that your
Well,
entire life, or were you part of something?
yeah, right now I'm in a duo, and we're
Okay.
called Steelman's Cut.
Steelman's Cut.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
my friend John Martello and I, and
Okay.
we've been jamming together on and off for, I guess, a quarter century.
Wow. Okay.
And we've been through different permutations. We were at a thing called, I think it was Mile 6, and then he jams with other people, and I jam with other people. But as a duo, we've been pretty consistent the last, say, 5 years or so,
Okay.
and we play breweries all over the place.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
like up in Tuckerton, down in Cape May.
Mm-hmm.
We were playing up this way more.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's a place called Red, White, and Brews.
Red, White, and Brewery. Yeah, they're not in business anymore.
No, I
Yeah.
know, but they had us back a lot,
Yeah.
and their beers were good.
Yeah, they were.
And
They
the
were.
great thing
Yep.
is, I get paid great. I don't care.
Mhm.
Free beer. That's how I get in the door. I said, just free beer. That's all you get. We
Yeah.
put it in a tip cup,
Yeah.
and they're like, okay.
It's always a plus for sure.
But
Yep.
then, people come and they don't leave.
Right,
That's
right.
always, and they make money. So
Yep.
then
Yep.
it grows. But anyway, that's what I'm doing now. And I'm also sitting in with the Dan Kaiser band.
Okay.
Another good friend of mine, real nice guy. He's got his own band, does his own original stuff, but
Okay.
he also
Nice.
does covers.
Mm-hmm.
And I sit in with him a lot, and we do mostly like wineries
Oh, okay.
and like restaurants, stuff like that.
Very cool.
So-
Any gigs coming up you wanna plug or promote?
I'll tell you what.
Mhm.
Pinelands in Tuckerton. I don't know if it's too far for John and I.
Well,
Steal
this
cut.
podcast slowly taking over the world, Paul.
Oh yeah,
So
well, like I say, they're right next door.
So there might be someone in Tuckerton that's hearing this.
Anyways, Pinelands Brewery. I love that place anyway. We're going to be playing there Thursday night, it's their fire pit. They have a light up a fire
Oh,
pit from
cool.
5 to 7,
Nice.
and it's a really nice place.
Yep.
Speaking of that, yeah, your podcast is like it's a serious thing. I was looking
Thank
at
you.
the people you get on here. I
Thank
mean, not only good like local guys, but you
Yep.
get some monsters. That's why I was
Yeah.
kind of had a little trepidation. I'm like, oh,
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
it's
Yeah,
great.
no, the theory is, right, because I started it as a platform for local artists, aka my friends,
Mhm.
to give them another platform to promote what they've got going on
Sure.
and also to tell their stories so people who happen to stumble across it may be able to relate to that musician,
Okay.
whoever it may be.
Great.
Because I find personally, I get more invested in a particular musician, whether it's local or anyone else, if I know a little bit more about them. Like,
Sure.
oh, that guy struggled with addiction a while ago. Like I can, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh well, let me listen. He said, what about what song? Oh, let me listen to that song. And then I've got like a stronger connection with that artist.
Gotcha.
So that was the whole reason why I started the podcast, was really the local scene. In fact, the title of this podcast is The Music Scene. I was originally gonna call it the South Jersey music scene. But then I realized, well, wait a second. I don't want to necessarily limit myself. I still want to keep the focus on the local folks here
Mhm.
in South Jersey. But if I could reach out to some other artists that have bigger followings, it'll attract more attention to this scene. You know what
Sure.
I mean?
Okay.
And also I get to talk to people I really like talking to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there was a guy, previous guest, I forget which episode, but his name's Ben Jaffe.
Okay.
He was part of a duo called Honey Honey. Leanne was obsessed with this band Honey Honey, right? Because there's a lead singer. It was Ben Jaffe and this woman Suzanne Santo, and Leanne and her friend Kara are like obsessed with Suzanne Santo, right? I say that in jest, but it's kind of true. And when I told her I was interviewing Ben Jaffe, she was like beside herself. And then we were here. I was interviewing him like remotely, and I asked him if it was okay. We got done our interview, and I asked him if it was okay if Leanne could say hi to him. She sat down here and put the headphones on. She could hardly talk to him. She
Wow.
she was so like starstruck.
Yeah.
It was hysterical.
Yeah. There was a guy you had on not too long ago. He started talking music theory,
Mm,
and I'm like, this guy knows what he's talking about. And there's some other guy who's talked about his riffs, and I'm like, oh, let me check him out.
mm.
I don't even know who it was.
Yeah, yeah.
These guys were so good. I mean, really,
Yeah.
really top-notch
Yeah.
guitar players.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, the biggest one I think I've had, and biggest is a relative term, but I had Andy Wood on somewhat
That's what
recently.
it was,
Yeah.
Andy Wood.
And he
Yeah.
plays for Rascal Flatts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Even
yeah.
Ben Jaffe, the guy I just spoke about, he's the touring manager, guitar player for Casey Musgraves.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
and she's a big time country artist. So yeah, some of these folks I talk to are big time, and they're slowly getting bigger, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another if you go to these jam sessions, open mics, you never know who's
Right.
gonna be, like, just gonna knock you.
Yeah, you never know.
Who's gonna
Yep.
start pulling these riffs out of
Yep.
Oh, I play in my basement all the time.
Yep.
Like, "What?"
Yeah. Yep. There's a guy at Little E's who he never, and he's a year or so older than me. I can't remember. He's basically the same age, and he's like, and he happened to mention that he played guitar, and of course me and Leanne were like, no way, you got to bring it one day. And he's like, no, he's like, I don't play in front of people, and we're like, come on, and Leanne bugged him enough, like week after week after week, and finally he was like, all right, I'll bring it. And like, so for the first time ever, aside from in his basement, he played in front of people. He's like in his 50s
Yeah.
and played in front of people for the first time ever. And he did great. He was jamming on some blues pentatonic stuff. It was great.
You never know.
Yeah. So much fun. So much fun. Okay, so you got that gig on Thursday coming up, right? Pinelands Brewing, you said?
Yeah, Pilots Brewery, and then I'm trying to think of what else, because everything all of a sudden dropped off,
Okay.
and then I think that's it. And what happens is, I think that's it, and all of a sudden, hey, you know what? What about this place they just
Right.
called?
Yep.
So anyway, I'll be at Pinelands for the next 3 Thursdays at
Oh,
least.
nice. Once a week?
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
that'll be there, and then
So this Thursday is what's the date?
the 11th.
The 11th. Okay.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
5 to I guess 5 to 8,
Okay.
and then we had been playing at Sugar Hill Inn and Mays Landing.
Okay.
Played there a couple times,
Nice.
and then down at Cape May was Cold Spring Brewery,
Okay.
another nice place.
Yep. Yep.
I played there a bunch of times,
Nice.
and it just I guess you pick them up as you go,
Mhm.
and then Dan Kaiser, like I said, whenever he gets something going on, he's like, Paul, you freed up, you want to sit in
Oh,
and
that's great.
play a little bit,
Yep.
and so
Yeah.
that's always, and he gives me free reign to do. Oh, you want to take a lead here?
Very
Okay,
cool.
sure. I'll do it for a half hour if you want. But really nice guy.
That's
man,
cool.
so
Now, if you're
that's
gonna do a lead, are you playing acoustic or are
yeah,
you
all acoustic.
It's always acoustic.
Acoustic,
So
yeah.
even if you're gonna do like a lead guitar solo, it's
Yeah.
acoustic.
Yes, and the thing is, I can do all the like the clapin-esque kind of
Mhm.
blues things,
Yep.
and I can run up the neck and till you hit bang that
Right,
12th fret. But if I put a little bit of reverb and a little bit of distortion on, it sounds like some
Okay.
electric guitar. It
All right.
just sounds like a really deep voice.
Yep.
And it's only like I only do that with like blues,
Oh, okay.
heavy blues.
Yep.
But most of the time, if I'm taking a lead, it's like for folk music or like country or anything. And then the bluegrass exercises help
Yeah, yeah, I bet.
because you can
Yep.
just run it up and down the scales,
Mhm.
and it sounds
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. Have you had any formal training?
Twice I tried to take lessons,
Mhm.
and neither time it took.
Oh,
I
okay.
tried to read,
Yep.
and it didn't make any sense. And then the guy wanted to teach me jazz right off the,
Mhm.
and that didn't work. So I think I took 4 lessons,
Okay.
but because of YouTube,
Yeah.
you're
Yep.
talking about
Yep.
what's his name, Marty Schwartz.
Oh, yeah. He liked one of my posts. It made my day.
He's so great because he's really accessible. Like,
Yep,
okay,
yep.
I need to know this
Mhm.
song like tonight.
Mhm.
So you run through that real quick,
Yep.
and then if you want something more nuanced, you grab somebody a little bit more advanced. But
Yeah.
he's great. And then there's this Justin guitar. Is he Justin
Oh,
something?
yeah.
He's-
Like a Irish guy,
I think
maybe, or
he's down under. I think.
yeah. Okay. Yep.
Anyway,
Yep.
another one that's accessible. And then there's ones a little bit more advanced.
Sure. Yeah.
But for me, yeah, I would just I'd say, how did you do that? And they
Okay.
would show me,
Okay.
and then I learned how to read tablature.
Yep.
And with that, then I started studying like Bach pieces and
Really?
more advanced like fingerstyle stuff. My
Okay.
main thing is fingerstyle. That's when if
Okay.
I'm playing a solo. Oh,
Yep.
let me segue off to
Yeah,
that.
please.
If there is any place out there that wants purely instrumental finger picking,
Mhm.
I can do hours of that stuff.
Nice.
Where I don't have to talk to anybody. I
Right,
don't have to
right.
acknowledge anybody.
Yep.
Just background music.
Yeah.
I'm available for that stuff
That's
too.
cool.
That's what I first started doing.
So is it like classical style, or is it just like folky, or is it
It's-
anywhere in between?
It's more folky because I can do some like standard pieces
Mhm.
fairly accurately, but mostly I'm not a classical guy,
Okay.
especially Bach.
Yeah.
You miss one note and you're done. But I don't know if you listen to like Leo Kottke or John Fahey or
Okay.
any of the
Yep.
folk guys in the 60s. I was really heavily influenced by them.
Okay.
I didn't influence. I stole everything I could from those guys.
Nice.
And like I said, Yorma.
Mm.
I'm a monster Yorma fan.
Really? I don't even know who Yorma
He's
is.
from Hot Tuna.
Oh, okay.
And
All right,
if
yeah.
you're into fingerstyle, old
Mhm.
time, ragtime,
Yeah.
blues kind of stuff,
Yeah.
he's like your go-to.
There's lots of times where I'll be like just bored in my apartment. I'd be like, I want to listen to something, but I don't want to listen to the same old stuff. So I'm
Yeah.
going to look up like Hot Tuna and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I definitely will.
the monster.
Yeah.
They're like my favorite band.
Are they really?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Very cool.
And now they're almost dead. They're so freaking old.
Well, AC/DC's right behind.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
No, but you say that like instrumental finger picking stuff, man. I can totally picture, somebody's cocktail hour at their wedding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just sitting in the corner, vibing.
I don't have to talk to any, I
Be
don't
awesome.
say, hey, how you doing? Because I come across as so insincere. So I can't. That's why I don't get gigs by myself. He's like,
Because I hate talking to people.
and they hate me talking to them. I can sense it. Shut up. Play some more. So
That's
anyway.
great. I love it. That's awesome. All right. Before we get to the performance here, anything else you wanted to kind of? Oh, well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
How can people if do you post yourself playing on any
Yeah.
socials?
So,
What are your socials?
My main thing, I'm a dinosaur. Not that I look old, but Facebook. I just use
I do.
Facebook.
I have
Yeah.
my biggest followings on
Yeah.
Facebook too.
And
Yep.
I got a YouTube channel under my name also,
Mhm.
but it has to be updated. The stuff I uploaded it's just so bad compared to what I can do.
Okay.
And
Yep.
I can't figure out a way to get in there again. I have to have my son.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a long
You
story.
got to go through your Google account.
Once
Such
I
a pain
went
in
to
the butt.
Google, because I've got two. I've got another one called PG123 Fish, which is what I started off with.
Okay.
And that's just anything.
Right.
A lot of jams.
Oh, okay. Nice.
It's actually
Nice.
a fun channel.
Very cool.
But mainly, I throw stuff on Facebook.
Okay. Yep.
And that's where they can see where I'm playing or who I'm jamming with. And I'm going to post for the thing Thursday when I get out of here.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
So,
awesome. Very cool. That's awesome. And everything's under your name, Paul Gliatto.
yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. All right, so guys, check him out, Paul Gliatto on Facebook and also YouTube, but mainly Facebook. All right, cool.
I appreciate this
Yeah,
so
man.
much.
Thank you so much for doing it.
Yeah. This tune is called Incoming Tide, and I wrote it when after I was fishing with my kids down at Cordson's Inlet, and I guess it was this time of year, many years ago. The wind had changed and the tide had changed, and it started coming in. And as we're fishing, I'm just looking at my feet and see the hermit crabs walking by and stuff. And then as it picked up, the current got stronger, and then this kind of fish came through, and this kind, and then it was like a full current coming through. And I wanted to try to get that feeling with this tune. So, and I think I also stole some riffs from another song, but I'm not sure which or what. So anyway, that's it's supposed to have that kind of feel. That's it.
Nice. Love it. That was awesome.
I call this variations on a song called Lord Franklin. It's an old Canadian tune. It's based on an old Irish tune. And it's about some kind of I don't even remember exactly what it's about. It's like an Arctic expedition that went wrong in Canada. But anyway, the melody is a pretty melody, so I'm just gonna I take that and I take it in some different directions once I establish the melody. Let's just let the song go. Thanks.